Welcome to our last lesson in this chapter, and what we're going to do is a water reflection. I like the one that was done on PhotoshopEssentials.com by Steve Patterson. PhotoshopEssentials.com by Steve Patterson. What happens is over the years you start to see the kind of filters and the tutorials that people provide, and I like to bookmark them and save them because I know that I may forget how to do some of these tutorials, and they provide a great reference. And I also want to just give credit where credit's due. So what's great about this tutorial is we're going to learn how to use a displacement filter. Displacement filter comes in handy in many ways. It can make things look real. And it's a little difficult to understand, but it works great. So we're going to take this photo and give a reflection to it. So first thing we're going to do is press Ctrl J to duplicate it. Then we're going to go over to the image, canvas size. We're going to select the top, and we're going to say height 100%. What does this mean? Well, since relative is checked, 100% is going to stretch at 100% the height of 500 pixels downwards. Okay. Now this was white because it's using the background color. Because we have two layers the same, we're now going to go to Edit, Transform, Flip Vertical. So we flip that layer 1, select the Move tool, select Shift, and just move it. Oh, I gotta select the layer, that helps. And then we're gonna move this down to right about there. Alright. Then we're gonna create a new layer. Oh, excuse me. I already did. Sorry about that. We're gonna create a new layer and we're gonna fill it with white. So Control Backspace to fill it with white. Then we're gonna go over to the filter menu again. We're gonna go to Sketch and Halftone Pattern. Now halftone pattern, this we're going to choose maybe the size of 5. What's interesting about this is, look, the thicker the line, the less lines. The lower the size, the more lines. So we need about, maybe about 6, 7. Alright. Contrast, lower equals softer. So we'll just use 40, and the pattern type, instead of dot, which you're probably seeing, you're going to choose line. Then you're going to click OK. Then we're going to blur it a little, so we're going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian, and just blur it a little, probably maybe right about there, 3.2. It's up to you, it doesn't matter. Then we're going to duplicate this layer. Now, to duplicate this layer, it's going to get tricky. We're going to choose the side flyout menu here. You're not going to see it. And choose the second command that says duplicate this layer, which is going to open up the dialog box. And you're going to say as new. And then we're going to name it. I've already named it. I called it displacement map. Or I called it ripple displacement. So I'm going to click cancel. Now I can delete this. So excuse me, that happens sometimes. So delete it by pressing the backspace key. And now I'm going to merge everything together. So Control Alt Shift E. When you do Control Alt Shift E, that takes these two layers and merge it into one above the layer that was active. Alright? Now we're going to apply the displacement filter to this image. We have our water reflection using the displacement filter. Now you could further customize this by changing the color of this, making it softer, lighter, and also maybe applying a gradient so where this disappears, kind of fades into the distance, but it's stronger when it's next to the actual lighthouse.